Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our today's FARO 3D software webinar on VirtuSurv. I'm glad that you're interested in our software. My name is Jana Siebenbrot. I'm the product manager of VirtuSurv here at FARO 3D software, and I'd like to guide you through the next about 60 minutes. Before I start with the presentation on VirtuSurv, some housekeeping notes. Just in case that you don't have voice over IP available, you may directly dial in to the audio of this webinar via these telephone numbers. Please note that you will have to enter the following access code down here. This webinar is going to be recorded, so a few days after this webinar you will receive an email with a link to the recording, and so you can share it with your colleagues. You can ask questions during my presentation. You can type your questions into, please type your questions into the questions box or into the chat box, and after my presentation I will take some time to answer your questions live. Okay, so let me start with a brief introduction of our company. FARO 3D software is a software vendor and developer located in Dresden, Germany. Our company has been founded in 1999 as Qubit GmbH, and just recently, in March this year, we've been acquired by the FARO Technologies and Corporations. Here in Dresden we do have about 30 employees, and we offer CAD, AutoCAD and Revit-based plug-in solutions, as well as standalone software for different fields of technology, not only for laser scanning. And our products do stand for accuracy and efficiency. We also have products, besides laser scanning, we also have products for photogrammetry and surveying with total stations. Yeah, but now let's talk about the software. Let's talk about VirtuSurv. In this slide I would like to show you at which place of the laser scanning process VirtuSurv is located. On site you capture your scans from different positions around the object you are interested in. And then later in the office you will do the registration and combine the individual scan positions into one common reference system. And you will also do some pre-processing like cleaning and filtering the raw scan data and also coloring. And registration pre-processing is done in pre-processing tools like Scene or Cyclone or Trimble Wheelworks or whatever. So to work with VirtuSurv you first have to use a pre-processing tool like FARO Scene or Cyclone to do the registration in the data cleaning. And only when you've prepared this data in that way you will import this cleaned and registered scan data into our VirtuSurv software for post-processing. And post-processing means you're measuring and drawing with the help of VirtuSurv, and you can do that even inside CAD systems without native point cloud support. So VirtuSurv is a post-processing tool. It does not offer any registration and filtering data cleaning tools. All right. So VirtuSurv is a very powerful tool for everyone who wants to present, use and evaluate laser scan data. And with CAD and even without CAD. You can process the scan data in a highly visual way and an easy to use environment. So when using VirtuSurv for the evaluation of your laser scan data, you benefit from fast loading of huge scan data sets due to an optimized format, and from intuitive navigation in a photorealistic scan view, as well as drawing and modeling even in CAD systems that do not have a native point cloud engine. So that's a big advantage here. And yeah, it's offering tools for easy integration into your familiar workflows. So let's have a closer look. First, what type of scan data does VirtuSurv support? In VirtuSurv you can import the standard format E57. This way you can get scan data from almost any laser scanner into VirtuSurv. So you can get your Regal data into VirtuSurv this way if you're a Regal user. We have direct imports for FARO files, FLS and project files, and we also support the direct import of PTX and PTG files from Leica, and we also support native Zoller and Fröhlich scan formats, as well as TopCon formats CLR and CL3. And with the project management of VirtuSurv, you are allowed to combine scans of different types of scanners to put them into one project. Precondition is that those scans have been registered in the same coordinate system. So you have to ensure that when scanning with a Regal scanner and then with a more detailed scans in the interior of the building with a FARO scanner, you can combine these data, but you have to ensure that you have the same reference system. And you can combine those data in one single project, and you can do measurements across the single scan boundaries. So with VirtuSurv you can fill in forms in databases. So if you don't want to create CAD drawings, just get some measurement data into your database or digital form. You can use VirtuSurv now. So if your previous workflow was the way that you took your tape measure, went to the object, took some window dimensions or other measurements and wrote them into onto a sheet of paper or into a paper form, and then took this paper form back to your office and typed the data manually into a database or anything, then VirtuSurv and laser scanning now provides you a completely digital way to gather your data and to do it less error prone, meaning that you have no typing mistakes or anything here. So how does it work? You scan your object and import it to VirtuSurv after pre-processing, and then in VirtuSurv you measure coordinates and distances and directly send them into the Windows application of your choice. And this way you can fill in Excel sheets, databases or any other forms and tables. And to give you an idea what I'm talking about, a more lively idea, let me just switch to VirtuSurv software. I have already opened a scan project here with a number of scans. Here we have a Project Explorer, and down there we have the scan map displaying the distribution of the scans. I can zoom in and out and I can pan. I haven't opened any scan yet. To open a scan I can either click in the Project Explorer and do a double click, or I can go down here and just click on the ball symbol, and if I zoom in or zoom in and out, you'll notice that down here in the Project Explorer scan map, I can see the opening angle and direction of my current view. And the current scan view is also highlighted in the scan map. Well, but what I'm interested in is I would like to take the measurements, width and height of this window and directly put them into my Excel sheet, into my form. So I will put Excel and VirtuSurv side by side, and I will open measurement bar for sending to Windows applications. Up here you see with the icons, you see macros that are natively delivered together with VirtuSurv, and then you also have options to create your own new macros. I have created one to fill in this specific Excel sheet with its specific format. And all I have to do now is connect VirtuSurv with this Excel sheet this way, and then I just start my sending macro, go into the scan, zoom in a little bit to click as accurate as possible, and click here, and you can see over there I have received my measurements. You have the possibility to set measurement units. In this case, I have selected meters, and you can also set the precision of the measurements sent out from VirtuSurv. And also, especially if you're working with Excel, you have to ensure to select the correct decimal marker in order to that fits to your Excel sheet format. Okay. Let me go back to the PowerPoint presentation in order to introduce some more functionality. So this is one thing you can do with VirtuSurv if you are not going to create CAD drawings. If you are interested in CAD drawings as a result, you can create those using VirtuSurv, and it works the way that you send coordinates, distances, and if you have a CAD system where we have a direct link like BricsCAD or AutoCAD LT, you can even send commands to your CAD system. But coordinates and distances you can send to any CAD system. The geometry is then drawn simultaneously by measuring and clicking in the scan. And you also here have the option to customize your own macros for design shortcuts and for an even faster, more efficient workflow. Also, something I would like to demonstrate for you. I will just turn off the Windows macros bar and will also remove the markers in here. And yeah, let me open BricsCAD. Here in BricsCAD you can see I have already started my evaluation. I have already digitized the outline of this room over here, and what I like to do now is digitizing the outline of the neighboring room. So I will just switch to the scan view of the neighboring room, and I will turn on my Send to BricsCAD macros bar because we do have a direct link into BricsCAD. We have those 10 icons with macros we deliver together with VirtuSurv, and then again I have created some customized macros as well. So drawing template has been prepared with according layers and block definitions, and then I can directly start drawing using VirtuSurv. Because BricsCAD connection is a direct link, I don't have a connect button. When I start the BricsCAD command, software automatically knows that everything has to be sent into BricsCAD. So my goal is to create a floor plan of this part of the building, and so rather than sending 3D coordinates and drawing 3D lines, I will just draw 2D line. So I run the 2D line command, and you see over here in BricsCAD the line command has automatically been started, and then I will just go in here and pick 2 points on every wall, and you can see over here how BricsCAD is simultaneously drawing what I'm picking. Okay. I pick 2 points on each wall because it's always difficult to get into the corners, because the scanner will never directly hit the corner of the wall. So it's better to click 2 points on every wall and then sharpen the corners later on in your CAD system. So I can even escape the line command directly from VirtuSurv, so I don't have to switch back and forth between CAD system and VirtuSurv that often if I'm using those macros. And I will add another 2D line here, and since I don't have additional scan data from this side and the other side of this part, I will have to do some construction work to get those lines over here from. I think it gave you an idea how you can draw the outline. If you have prepared a block definition, then you can even insert blocks using VirtuSurv. So if I hit the insert block command, and I have created a block for lamps, and here on the ceiling I have markers where the lamps are supposed to be later on. So I can just click in there, and I will just click and insert another lamp block over here. Okay. Same way I could even measure distance, a button and the floor and the ceiling in order to get height information. Another thing I like to show you, but I want to draw on the different layer, so I switch on the stairs layer and go back to VirtuSurv, is I want to draw the stair steps of the neighboring room. So let me switch to the other scan view. So here is the room I've through that door we see a part of the room we have just digitized, and out here we have a staircase, and what I like to do is draw the lines for the staircase for the ground plan. So all I need to do is click 2 points along on each stair step front, and I will run just a segment command that creates a 2D line with just 2 points, or a 3D line with 2 points I could also do, but for the floor plan it's 2D lines. So only thing I have to do, 2 points on each stair step, and yeah, well, I think you get the idea. So I could follow that up to the top, and as I've already created same way the boundaries of the stairs, I can now go in my CAD system and do some construction work. And continuing in a similar way like I started, my end result could look like this here in CAD, with a staircase and the room outlines and inserted doors, etc., etc. But with VirtuSurv, you can not only create ground and floor plans, you can also create facade plans. And what I like to show you now is how you can create facade plans in another CAD system. So if you don't have a CAD system like BricsCAD or AutoCAD LT, we also support IntelliCAD CAD systems. DraftSide is one of those IntelliCAD clones. In order to send into such a CAD system, we once more run this send to Windows, the generic send to Windows link. All I need to do is connect VirtuSurv to my DraftSide. Alright, and I told you I want to digitize a facade, so this is a project with only interior scans. I will just open a facade project here. No, I don't want to save any changes in the VirtuSurv project, and I will just open another scan. And here we can see a facade over here, and since I don't have a direct link to DraftSide, I needed to connect to it manually, and I have to run my drawing commands directly in DraftSide and not from VirtuSurv. So I have a little bit more switching back and forth when I use a CAD system with a generic Windows link, but it's working as well. So I start the line command over here in DraftSide, and then back in VirtuSurv I start the macro for sending XYZ coordinates, and then I just zoom in here as close as possible. With scrolling the mouse wheel and going down here. I'll do it quickly. Principle is similar to what I've just shown with the ground plan. And back here I need to say close. And let me just draw the outline of one window again, switching to the different layer, clicking here, there. And the resolution of the scan view over here, it depends on the resolution of your scan data. So the better the scan data resolution, the more accurate your measurements can be. Oops, I'm clicking and I forgot to start the command. So let me just go in here once more, run the line command with on the new layer. Pick here, pick there, here, and here. Go in here and say close. All right. And the same way I could continue to digitize directly on the scanned facade. I have prepared the result of this facade plan for you. So in the end your facade plan could look like this, and if you like, even more detailed. Okay, think that gave you an impression what you can do, what you can use VirtuSurv for creating floor plans and facade plans and how it is working. So for you, because I cannot show all the CAD systems, I have a list for you which CAD systems are supported by VirtuSurv. So via the generic Windows link, we can get data into Rhino 3D or any IntelliCAD CAD system or CAD system based on IntelliCAD like GStarCAD, ZVCAD or DraftSide, and many more. And it also works with CAD work. and map scenes, and also then we offer direct links into AutoCAD and AutoCAD LT, and you will notice that many of those CAD systems do not yet have a native point cloud or scan data support. We can also have a direct link to BricsCAD, like I have demonstrated, and new in version 16.5 is a direct link into SEMA. I think SEMA users will know this CAD system. For every other, this will be this name SEMA will be alien. And then another way to get scan data into a CAD system, or to create drawing with a CAD system from the scan data, is via our coded fieldbook functionality, which I will demonstrate in a minute. And via this option you get your measurements into GeoGraph, Covadis, and Carlson, and other software systems who are allowing to import coded fieldbooks. So the coded fieldbook option provides the proven method of measuring objects using coded points in order to automatically create a finished drawing when reading the data into the CAD system by using the codes. And this proven method can now also be applied on laser scan data. So usually this comes from surveying with total stations. So and if you started with total station and do have a CAD system that allows to import coded point lists, then you can use your familiar CAD system and your familiar import, and you can now apply the same principle and measuring method to laser scan data, not only total stations. Something I would like to demonstrate you once more. Once again, I will go to VirtuSurv, turn on the Windows macros bar, open another scan project with more topography. I'll just open a scan over here. You can see there's a cross-section been scanned, and here you have a small total station icon. This is to open my toolbar for the field book. And like in your total station, you can set a point ID like 1001, and you can set an increment, and you can use the codes that you are using with a total station as well. And for this example, I have already created and imported a code list with numeric codes. VirtuSurv does also support alphanumeric codes. The codes do belong to certain code groups. That's also something I can define, and you can also enter descriptions. So you are also allowed to add new codes and to export the code list, so you can share it with your colleagues, and you can import code lists that your colleagues provide. So this has been already prepared, and by the code groups, because if you define code groups, you can filter your codes. So I want to filter to code lines, and you always have a code and then also a description, so you can select if you have the code numbers in mind, you can type them in here or select them from the pull down, or if you don't have the codes, if you don't know the codes by heart, then you can select them via this description over here. So I will just digitize part of the curb, okay, or the curb over here. Alright, and I will set the filter to building. I will not digitize a building, but I want to digitize this small wall over here, and luckily the code is on top of this list, and I will pick some points along the wall, or with another filter for vegetation I could enter some trees, or for road points there's a selection of light well and flag poles, and here I have a definition for the traffic light, so I can pick this one over here. For every point you may also enter some comment if you want to, and if it's allowed with your import system. And if you have here, and if you want, you can open the field book and check it, and you can manually delete points, remove rows in that field book. You see it's structured in columns like point ID, and you can sort by codes or by point ID. And what you can also do, and what is important, you can configure this field book depending on your CAD system import, what you are using with your total station. You have to configure this field book to get the proper format, so your import system can really take that format. So you have the possibility to shift rows and columns up and down, and to arrange it in the columns in a different order. And if you don't need the measurement unit, then you can also remove it. Okay, from the part of the shown columns. I'd say just okay. And of course, if you start evaluating a new project, you have to clear your field book first, and then you can save it to a file, write it to a particular location. I will write it into this webinar.txt. Yes, I want to overwrite. Here you have more format options like column separators, space, tab, or others, depending on your importing CAD system. Click on Write and close here, and let me just show you. So with the definitions I've selected, I get this nice coded field book as an ASCII file. And if I have a CAD, if you have a CAD system that is able to import such coded field books, then you will import them, and your import routine will automatically create the lines at the appropriate layer, and will insert blocks, etc., and creates the almost finished CAD drawing from this point codes. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. Finally, I just want to give you a brief overview of what is new in version 16.5 of VirtuSurv. It is now compatible with AutoCAD 2016 and AutoCAD LT 2016, starting with version 2013 of AutoCAD, and it's also now compatible with BricsCAD version 15 and starting with version 13.14. I know that BricsCAD has recently released version 16, or is going to release version 16 soon, and a few weeks after version 16 release of BricsCAD, our VirtuSurv will also support then the new version of BricsCAD, but that's a little preview. Then I already told you that we now have a direct connection into SEMA, which is a CAD system, and we did some minor corrections and improvements. And a few more words on the direct connection to SEMA. SEMA is is a CAD system for timber construction. So if you are a SEMA user, you can now connect VirtuSurv to SEMA and send coordinates into SEMA. You will have to start your drawing commands inside SEMA. You will find the Send to SEMA button in the Measure Mode menu of VirtuSurv under Send to Other Systems. Send to other systems. Down here you have the SEMA button. And another precondition, one thing, yes, this Send to SEMA link is contained in the generic Windows interface. Same is the fieldbook option. It's also in the generic Windows interface. And an important note, on the SEMA side, you have to have a license of a SEMA Total Station interface to receive data from VirtuSurv. So this works via the Total Station interface of SEMA. Yeah, then we had improved the scan map a little bit. Well, it looks pretty similar to like we had it in the previous versions, but now you can open the scan view directly by clicking in the scan map window, not only by clicking in the Project Explorer. So this is new, and you can pan in the scan map window by holding down the mouse wheel and move it. You could see it during my during my demonstration. Okay. A brief overview on the different flavors or different licenses of VirtuSurv. So we have separate licenses for VirtuSurv with AutoCAD LT link. We have a separate license for VirtuSurv with BricsCAD link, and we also have for people who are not using AutoCAD LT or BricsCAD, we do offer this VirtuSurv with the generic Windows link. With this system, you can send data into Excel sheets. You can connect to IntelliCAD systems, or you can directly connect to SEMA. And this license also includes the fieldbook option. If you are a BricsCAD user or an AutoCAD LT user and additionally would like to use the fieldbook option for any reason, then you can we will be able to offer you a so-called My Suite that combines the license, 2 or more licenses of VirtuSurv, and provides you with some discount if you purchase two licenses of VirtuSurv. But that will be something you can discuss with our sales team as well. People who do know VirtuSurv for a longer time will notice that there's one box missing here, and that's VirtuSurv for Revit. VirtuSurv for Revit is no longer a standalone product. VirtuSurv for Revit has been completely integrated into our new PointSense for Revit product. So there is a new PointSense for Revit product as a Revit plugin, and the VirtuSurv for Revit is integrated there because you use then VirtuSurv as an additional option to visualize and use scan data. But PointSense for Revit offers a lot more functionality than just sending data from VirtuSurv into Revit. So this is, if you're a Revit user, PointSense for Revit would be the tool you might want to have a closer look at, and in a second I will show you where you can find additional information on that software, and we also have a webinar upcoming soon for PointSense for Revit. So this is what I liked to demonstrate to you. I hope I could raise your interest, and thanks for your attention and your interest in VirtuSurv.